I'm Robin Holder, and this is my studio, my sacred sanctuary, where I get to experiment and explore, a place where I can try to understand what I'm experiencing, where I try to explore what other people's perspectives are. Most of my imagery is created by combining a series of different printmaking techniques with painting and drawing and digital imaging. I start with an idea that usually presents dynamic conflicts of race, national origin, religion, class, gender dynamics. And I'm kind of obsessed with layering different realities or perspectives of culture through the lens of individual circumstances and experiences, so that I'm presenting a range of societal platforms. Most of the work that I do is research-based or has some motivation or inspiration in an actual dynamic that I'm experiencing, or an event or situation in my life or in the lives of people that are close to me. I'm very concerned with making a visual articulation that is engaging and welcoming, and that presents very complicated and often painful thematic realities. I suspect that most people don't realize how much we artists utilize aspects of culture that are not necessarily visual constructs. We do a lot of research, and in addition to creating work, I have to learn things about chemistry, about physics, engineering. I research thematically a lot of the ideas that I'm trying to portray. So I'm very interested in history, sociology, literature, poetry. All of these aspects of the manifestation of our civilization are parts of the investigations that I perform in order to cull ideas and concretize my concepts. The theme "Don't Shut Up" is very is very familiar to me, because I think since a young girl I've tried to understand the internal dialogue that's going on inside of me as I move throughout my life and interact with people and see my presence in the larger society and understand the construct of our civilization. And when I grew up in the 60s, we were not even able to wear pants to school until I went to high school. The two pieces I have in Don't Shut Up are Nina's Choice and They Damaged Us More Than Katrina. Now, both of those pieces are based on real events. The first one, Nina's Choice, is responding to a situation where a colleague of mine thought that she might have cancer. And in the process of the medical investigation, she had time to reflect and really think about where she wanted to go forward in her life and what were her goals, what were most important to her. So it was an opportunity where, thank God she did not have cancer, that she had a chance to really voice herself, to speak for herself, to dig deep and figure out what it was she really wanted from that point on going forward in her life. The piece, They Damaged Us More Than Katrina, was a stencil monoprint, a one-of-a-kind piece that I did with lithographic inks and my press over here behind me on paper. And it was reframed as a silkscreen that was printed in an edition of 70 at the Experimental Printmaking Institute at Lafayette College. So the opportunity to work in that space collaboratively, with the director and founder Curly Holton and Jace Clark, a master printer, was a unique opportunity to really figure out how to incorporate techniques that I myself was not able to skillfully render. And that's a very special situation. The piece, They Damaged Us More Than Katrina, is something that I created in a period of about 5 days when we witnessed on TV screens in horror the appalling situation in the New Orleans area and how the federal government was unable or unwilling to really help and rescue largely a population of African Americans. It was a time that I really was between cursing and screaming in a continuous rage and crying and heartbroken at the victimization of people, and the witnessing of it, I think, affect many of us very, very deeply. So when I created the image, I was trying to give voice to everybody who is marginalized, who's victimized, who's brutalized, who's ignored, who's treated as an invisible, as an untouchable in not only American society, but worldwide. So the figure has an arm raised up and a hand to indicate that we're not going to disappear. We're here. You can't ignore us. And giving that strength to the millions and millions of people that are underserved and who are not given their equitable resources in life was my main motivation.